Hey Guardians, welcome to the Destiny Help Desk podcast, a show that's designed to help you with the little bits of the Destiny 2 online game. My name is Todd the Gator, and whether you're a brand new Guardian to the game or a returning player, I'm here to help you explain the constantly changing dynamics of this game, bring you up to speed, and get you ready to jump in and start your Destiny journey. This is the audio component to my YouTube channel, which is, by the way, Todd the Gator. Remember, that's 2 Ds and G-A-T-R. Or you can visit youtube.com/@ToddTheGator. On this week's show, episode 6, I asked the question that some of you out there may be asking. With the new Crucible competitive system and skill-based matchmaking coming to Season 19, what can I do now to start getting better so I can enjoy playing the Crucible in the future? In today's episode, I will offer up some helpful tips you can use right away to do just this. If you're more of a visual learner, or you want to refresh your memory of today's subject, you will always find a link to the very video pertaining to this show's topic. Just check those show notes below. If you have any questions for me that I might answer on the show at a later time, or in private, that's up to you. Email me at toddthegator@gmail.com, or you can send me a voicemail with your question at speakpipe.com/Destiny Help Desk. It's our voicemail system where you can actually send us a message, and we might play it on the show. All of these links will also be in the show notes below. There's no stupid questions in Destiny, so if you need answers, please don't hesitate to send them my way. This podcast is here to serve you, and who knows, your question might just help a fellow newer Guardian out there as well. You can find me on Twitter at ToddTheGator, spelled the very same way. All right, let's get into it. I know with the addition of more skill-based matchmaking and the new competitive system coming out next season, I figured what better time to release an audio episode talking about improving your Crucible gameplay. As I was thinking of new episodes to post for all new and returning players out there, there's one video I've always wanted to make for our Discord community. Oh, by the way, that's discord.gg/GuardianDownCast, shameless plug. We have friendly community PvP scrims almost every week when there's not an Iron Banner or a new season coming out. And my co-host Hazelnut, who originally set these up, would make it a point for the two teams who just played against each other to meet up in a single voice chat after the game's completed, go over the pluses and minuses of the game, and maybe something from each player's point of view that they might have been able to do better. I have seen newcomers to the Crucible really start to excel in time after participating, and I think we're doing a good thing here. The bonus of this discussion after each game was that the more seasonal players could give some tips or things they saw other players doing that was hurting their success. So with all that in mind, this gave me a great idea for an episode. This method of learning your mistakes when playing the Crucible or any PvP game for that matter, when you maybe don't have a group scrim or able to get feedback from more experienced players, is a system I've been using for years now. Still with me? All right, good deal. This is a system that many great PvP masters out there have talked about, but really haven't elaborated much more than that. And that is to record your gameplay. Wait, don't turn it off. Hear me out. I know, I can hear you. Gator, I don't have time to watch my gameplay back. Really? Are you kidding me? I don't even know what to look for if I did. Or, dude, I just jump in, I shoot stuff, and I jump out. I'm just a casual. All right, I hear you. But what if you could start to see distinct improvements in your games in the future? And, I don't know about you, but seeing my score a little higher at the end of matches sounds kind of good to me. So give it a try. And here's why. I started playing Destiny 1 back in the day, and for the entire year, I never wanted to set foot in the PvP Crucible system. I just got burned out from years of playing Call of Duty multiplayer, and I was loving the new worlds that Destiny put before me. But something happened in year 2 where I had to jump into the Crucible to get some awesome new hand cannon called the Thorn. Getting void kills in the Crucible, and if your KD was negative, below 1, you would lose progress on the quest. Believe me, it was hell. One thing I noticed, though, when trying to get that done, was that the Crucible was actually fun to play, and the fact that every game was different experience was intriguing. PvE is fun, but when you've played it so much that you've memorized where the enemies appear all the time, I don't know about you, but it can get kind of tedious. And my plea here is to give Crucible a try. I started out with a 0.4 KD when I started. I was a pleb. I didn't know what weapons were good. My aim sucked. I had no clue where to go on the maps. I was lost. But someone in the Crucible community told me to record my games and watch them back. And I said the very same things you're saying to me today. Also, when I started to play them back, I really didn't know what to look for or if I was doing anything correctly. But as I started watching more, I began to see patterns emerge where I was losing my gun battles every single time. I started putting two and two together and working on changing up that pattern, and you know what? My games were beginning to improve. So instead of just saying record your gameplay and leave it at that, I'm going to give you some tips and things you should look for when recording your gameplay. I'm sitting at about a 1.5 KD currently, and I can hold my own, but more importantly, I'm actually having fun when jumping in the Crucible, and my hope is that you do too. So let's ride. Now, I don't know how you feel about the new skill-based matchmaking changes, but for new or returning players that may be a bit rusty, now is a fantastic time to get your feet wet in the Crucible. Community members that don't play as much have told me that they're having a great experience playing right now. One thing I will mention here, and this usually doesn't apply to my other videos, but I have some really good footage and Crucible gameplay on the video component of this podcast, and I encourage you to go to my channel, Todd the Gator, all together, Todd, the Gator, Gatr, and look for the Record Your Gameplay or Getting Better at Crucible title. I'll have the link in our show notes down below, and you'll be able to actually see me demonstrate a lot of these things in game. Alright, number 1. When watching back your gameplay, take notice of how far away you are from cover. Destiny 2 is a cover shooter, and the time to kill is longer than most shooters out there, so use that third layer of armor. First being your health, second being your energy shield around you, of course. When you notice yourself in a gunfight, are you 1 to 2 steps away from cover? Or are you totally exposed in the open and target practice for the enemy team? If you get shot, get back to cover and regain your shield before re-engaging. This separates the pros from the plebs. Number 2. When watching back your gameplay, where are you in relation to your teammates? Are you the last to die in your spawn? And are you seeing teammates spawn on the other side of the map? If so, you better get moving to that area. This is called map or team flow. This was one of my blind spots where I would try to get a kill against more than one player while all alone. Bad idea. Stay with your teammates and let them help you get that kill. That's what the pros do.
The path to victory is long, but there's always hope. Fight!
Number 3. When watching back your gameplay, if you're playing solo and you really have a bad game, use your record past game function on your console or record on your PC and stop recording and immediately go back and watch your last game back. You can learn so much and ease your frustrations once you watch back and realize where you went wrong. If you're playing with a team or with friends, just remember to save it and watch it before you log off for the day. You'll thank me later. It's always better to watch the game back as you'll forget it the next day. Make playing the Crucible a learning experience. And if you do it on the same day you were just playing, you have your mindset already in place to immediately grasp what you did wrong. Number 4. As you watch your gameplay back, you'll notice a pattern in your defeats. Keep an eye on repeated deaths, and if there's something you're doing over and over again that gets you into trouble, watching your games back will expose it like a bad thumb. Then you can correct it in time. Everyone has a pattern when they play PvP. What's yours? A couple extra tips. You don't have to watch the entire game. Just fast forward to your deaths and take note of what happened. Use the first 2 tips I've already mentioned and see if you were out of position or you're not using cover effectively. You can also determine your gun skill as well. Are you missing your shots and why? Is your sensitivity too high? Gun skill will come in time, but if you know how bad your aim is, you can make corrections to speed up your accuracy. Lastly, just know that even the best players in Destiny 2 have bad games. And not to get down on yourself. Most of the best players will automatically blame themselves in game and make a mental note of what they did wrong. And you will too once you know what you're looking for. Hey, thanks for listening to this episode. Hopefully this will convince you to at least give the Crucible a try and not be intimidated competing with other Guardians out there. There's nothing more satisfying than to see your scores go up as you jump in and play the Crucible more often. Keep an eye on future episodes where I will talk about another subject in the world of Destiny 2. Just a reminder that if you want to join our community, you can go to discord.gg/GuardianDownCast. That's where my longtime friend Hazelnut and I have another Destiny 2 podcast for new and veteran Guardians where we interview content creators and community members to discover their story and journey in Destiny. We also talk about the current issues in the community and game and go over the latest news from Bungie. If this sounds like something you might want to check out, the link will be in the show notes as well. There's lots of quick links down there, so check them out. Also, if you have a question relating to the show that you want answered, you can email me at toddthegator@gmail.com or send me a voicemail, speakpipe.com/Destiny Help Desk. I want to help you out, I really do, so let's hear them. Thanks again for your time, and later, Guardian. I'm sitting at about a 1.5 KD currently, and I can hold my own, but more importantly, I'm actually having fun when jumping into the Crucible, and my hope is that you do too. Wow. Humble brag, right? What a pompous...